In today's video, we're going to install those innovative mounts that I had briefly mentioned at the end of the last video. We're also going to put on the Tanabe Medallion catback exhaust. Innovative reached out to me earlier this summer, asked me if I would be interested in a set of their mounts, just show a little love towards their product, kind of go over the overview of what they're sending me. Now these are the billet mounts for an EF with a D-series engine and a cable transmission. I asked for the hardest durometer, which is a 90A, the thickest that they offer. To me, it doesn't even produce that much vibration. It still feels really nice. I have it installed on my track car as well, that same durometer with the steel bushings instead of the billet. It feels really, really good. That's why I opted to go with these on this little single cam as well. Now I know most of you watching this video, probably a good handful of you are already familiar with Innovative's products. They offer such a wide array of motor mounts for so many different applications now. They have their traction bars for our cars, the competition bar, the newer one. They have the cable to hydro actuator. Just some really, really nice products across the board, and I think one of the leaders in mounts for our industry. So if you're interested, you can click on the link below. I'm going to have these mounts actually listed to their website. Show them some love. I know these are some great mounts, and one thing that is great is they offer a lifetime warranty on their bushings, and they also offer, say for instance you buy a set and it has the lowest durometer, and if you have a problem with those, they end up sagging, whatever, they will send you another set, and you can actually upgrade to a one harder durometer on there as well, which is a really nice feature. And I actually did that on that car back in early 2019 before I had it ready for the season. So I want to say thanks again to Jerry and the team over at Innovative for sponsoring me in the set of mounts. It really means a lot to me that you're showing support for my channel and all the people that are watching my channel. You know, this car is far from pretty compared to some of the other ones that I have, but it means a lot that you guys wanted to show some support and give me a set of these sent out, because these go a long way. I will be able to use these for the unforeseeable future, knowing that I have so many EFs, I can always swap mounts around, cars around, and whatnot. Thanks a lot, guys. So now let's take a look at that exhaust we're going to throw on. This is this Tanabe Medallion Touring. Now this exhaust is supposed to be relatively quiet, under 93 decibels, so it should sound really clean. It has a 60mm piping diameter. If you're looking at the box over there, it says the stock number, the T70026 Honda CRX. I ended up getting this locally. A guy had purchased one for a Civic hatchback when he needed it for a CRX. That's why he has a CRX box. And he realized he ordered the wrong ones, and when you can look at that, the number for the Civic hatch is the 27, T70027, and it's neat because these exhausts have every little piece has it stamped on there, so you know exactly what it's for. But I got it for cheap. I got it for only $300, and this is about a $500 exhaust online, and I just got it in the CRX box, so should be a bolt-on affair. Let me get that put on, and then we'll get some sound clips to see how it sounds compared to the one that's on there. And here's a look at them side by side. I've always been a fan of those eBay piping. They're usually done really well, all the bends and everything. Here's what I was talking about. They added on some sort of, maybe they're trying to quiet it down, but it didn't seem to help. I don't know if that's just old. You can tell the canister size on the Tanabe is huge. I like how it has these little gussets here to help strengthen this so they don't tear out. Because I'm sure you guys have seen it where the pipe, you know, sometimes they start to tear out on the muffler, so that's going to help alleviate some of the weight of this muffler, and I'm pretty sure that's why it's on there. But solid setup, this one is still in decent shape, so I'll just set that aside. Maybe if anyone locally is interested in an exhaust, maybe just throw yourself on a new muffler, give that to you for cheap. I'm just going to swap over the test pipe to this one now and throw it back on. Alright guys, let's give it a start. This is the first time I've started it. Now that is a night and day difference, thankfully. Exhaust sits perfect. It exits right in the center. It should, normally high quality exhausts always give you really nice fitment. So that's done. Let's get these motor mounts installed. Okay, I was struggling to get this mount installed. Went ahead and installed passenger side. Did a bunch of reading online right now. Found out that the EF post mount bracket on an OBD2 engine, it tends to lean forward, hence why this mount was bent this way. They're saying that with a stock mount, you shouldn't have an issue because it's easy to flex the rubber. But here, you can see, like, as I remove the bolts, it kind of straightened out. And now there's a gap because it was actually bending this way. I don't know what alternative I have. I'm gonna see what I can figure out and what I can do about getting this mount installed. After playing around with it, I was able to get this one installed. Now you can see it's still leaning forward. That's just the nature of this particular setup and this particular chassis. I thought about taking off the post mount bracket, grinding it down a little bit, maybe just opening the holes up and using a nut on the opposite side instead of the threaded in there, because I cannot get the second bolt under here lined up with the mount. It's off by like ½ inch and there's really no room to mess around with it. I figured maybe one day I'll find another post mount bracket, get out here, like pull off the timing cover and everything, and then like test fit it back and forth. That way I have an additional one I can use with this engine. I don't want to grind off anything on the mount. I would hate to ruin the integrity of those. So I think I'm just gonna run with the original one that was on here for now. I may even put the other one back on that side and just save those for much prettier, cleaner car, maybe my Y49. So I want to try to figure out why this mount is having this issue and why it's mounted up that way. Went in and pulled it off really quickly, and luckily these are pretty easy to get removed. Post mount is the correct one from 8891 Civic CRX. I wanted to see how this mount looked compared to the one in the kit 49152. This one is intended, it says manual. It's a cable to hydro with a 92 plus motor. I'm using this on the Z1 engine in the sedan. Honestly, looking at them, they look identical. There's a little notch in this one which isn't present on that mount, but even the angle, how they sit off right here, turn them this way a little bit, side by side. I don't see a difference in the mounts. Yeah, they look pretty darn similar to me. I'm gonna try to install this one. I don't think it's gonna give me a fix, but let's just throw it on and see how it fits. All right guys, and with this mount in, I have it bolted up so it sits straight in the chassis. Still experiencing that same issue. There's a far larger gap here on the front of the mount than there is on the rear. I have the correct post mount from an EF. These mounts and brackets are perfectly fine. There's zero issues with it. The motor seems to sit where it should, but we're having an issue with this mount. I'm not sure why. Looked on my phone right now and I was looking at that mount. This is the 49111. It is EF with 92 plus engine. It says it right here. Designed to fit the EF chassis when converting to a newer 92 plus cable or hydraulic transmission. And it also says it's used in kits 49152, which is that kit I bought, the 49152. But for some reason it's not fitting, nor was this mount. That one didn't fit, or this one also, but this was supposedly for the cable transmission. This is the 19111 number. I don't know what the issue is. I don't know if anyone else has experienced that problem, but it seems kind of weird that it says that this is the mount in this kit, but it's not fitting correctly in my car. I don't see what else could be the issue. Maybe there's something they could fill me in with. Maybe I need a different post mount. It doesn't specify that. I'm gonna reach out to them and see what they say and see what they suggest. Maybe there's a simple solution to getting that fixed and getting that sitting as straight as possible. Just for reference, here's a D15Z1 that I'm putting in the sedan. Original post mount has the 3 bolts. So this mount, which is identical to the new one over there, it's definitely not gonna work, and that's why we use the EF post mount here. I don't know if it will present the same issue on the other mount, and I'm hoping it doesn't. Hoping Innovative can give us an explanation. Maybe there is a slight difference to the other mount, but they seem to be the same as the two that I have here that I've been showing you. But other than that, this is probably my only complaint I've ever had with Innovative's products. I've never experienced something like this where it doesn't fit as it should. Everything else has been great. All the products I've used, I was using this EFB. This is a EFB with a hydro transmission and a hydro actuator. I hope to plan on using this set with that Z1 I just showed you. And of course I have that D series set that they sent me that I could always use on one of my other cars, single cam, in the future. I don't like to get rid of mounts. They're just really convenient to have if you're ever swapping motors, selling cars, or whatever. But hoping we can get this one figured out. I'm really curious to see what it is. Okay, and so after talking about all this and doing all this, I'm back to square one, just using the original mounts. I ended up using the Innovative hardware completely, cleaned them up a little bit, but I threw both back on. I'll try to amend that situation in the future. It's been a little bit of an ass backwards kind of day working on these and just learning about that didn't fit. Let's go get out of the house, get a little bit of driving footage and some sounds of that new exhaust. And here's how it sounds idling. Very quiet. No unwanted noise. Probably doesn't attract any unwanted attention. This is at about 900 RPMs. Very, very low-key exhaust. Love the way it sounds. Might not be loud enough for some of you guys, but I think it sounds excellent. Especially if you are using your car as a daily driver. I think these Tanabes could be great for any daily driver. When I'm cruising at about 55 to 65 miles an hour, the RPMs are between like 35 and 45. You can barely notice you have an exhaust. It has a little bit of a grumble, but there's no drone, no annoying sound. You can still carry on a conversation in your car. I think it'd be perfect for someone who wants a little bit of an upgrade, but they want a little bit better sound. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video today. Hopefully those clips came out all right. I have some clips from previous day. Last week I was able to squeeze out here in the morning, but it was a little more windy and I didn't come prepared. Today I brought this big Tupperware. I placed my camera inside it on my tripod just to help fight the wind noise. It looks like the wind is coming from that direction. So I think those clips may have came out better. I may include the other ones in here also if I have the space, or even if this one doesn't come out okay. But I hope you guys enjoyed the content. Thanks for following along, and we will see you guys soon. Take it easy.